This is KHQA Overtime with Chris Dewar. Brought to you by Con Communications. This is KHQA. It's your news now.
And this is Saturday, November the 9th, and you have entered overtime on the day that will forever affirm that Quincy, Illinois, for all of its storied basketball and football history, is now officially and certifiably it has arrived as a football town, too. For the first time ever within the Gem City limits, dueling football playoff games this afternoon, with the perennially strong Quincy Notre Dame Raiders hosting Peatone on one side of town and the upstart Blue Devils debuting in the second round of the playoffs for the very first time and trying to overthrow true Illinois gridiron royalty in the process. Let's start tonight with our journey at 10th and Jackson. Raider fans showing out. Oh, Tony, Stella, and company. Oh, they're creating their own black hole Raider style. Jack Cornell would be very proud. Q&D up 3-0 late first. Looking for more on a drive extended by Blue Devil penalties. Joey McKay here to Brady Gennebacher. A parent touchdown, but killed by a motion penalty. No matter, McKay, unflappable. Goes back to work, hooking up with Logan Schutte at the 1 yard line. And that would set up Brady Gennebacher in for the splash score from 1 yard out. It's 1-0, actually 10-0, I should say. Q&D at that point. Or 1-0 in terms of touchdowns, if you're keeping score that way. On the ensuing kickoff, though, very bad things for the Raiders' special teams. I'll tell you what, Peatone has some speed, and you will see it on display right here. 75-yard kickoff return as an answer to that 1 yard Brady Gennebacher touchdown. And all of a sudden, this is a 10-7 game. But Q&D would go right back to work in the first half. Trying to fashion an answer here, a little swing pass to Dalen Anders. This kid has been amazing of late, and you watch him weave through traffic right here to set up just a bit later. Brady Gennebacher, again, the 1 yard touchdown rumble specialist today as Brady gets in out of that scrum and eventually pops free for the score. Makes it 16-7 at that point. The defense doing its side of things as well. Standing up strong today, Brady Gennebacher playing some pretty darn good linebacker as well today. Zach Bailey in on that one. And look at Jordan Chappell, his human missile imitation. Playing run support from safety right there. Great stuff. Let's take you to the third quarter, though. Brady Gennebacher with a big stop right here at the goal line. However, the Blue Devils would go in one play later, cut the lead to 16-14. So Q&D had to fashion an answer. Who are you going to call? Dalen Anders. My goodness, going ghost on everybody right here. Just moving through, 16-yard pickup. That would set up more fun right here. It is again Joey McKay to Brady Gennebacher on down to the 1 yard line. And then Brady is going to do what he did all day long. 1 yard short pushes in for the score. That extends the Q&D lead at that point out to 23-14. The Blue Devils look like they're going to fashion a pretty good response. Down 2 scores, 9 points with 4 minutes left. To the air they go, near quarterback sack. Turns into a 40-yard gain on the missed tackle and long rumble right here. I told you, Peatone has plenty of speed, plenty dangerous from anywhere on the field. But you know what? Q&D's defense, with its back up against the wall, would bow its neck right here. Jet sweep. There's Jordan Chappell coming again with a beautiful tackle in the offensive backfield. More to come in this one as well. As a field goal, there's Chappell again with another big stop. Field goal attempt by Peatone blocked, and all Q&D has to do is run out the clock, and it's nice to have Dalen Anders around when you want to do that. Dalen with the big pickup right here. How about some victory formation? Sweetest play in all of football. Quincy Notre Dame picks up the victory today, 23-14, and it's on to the third round for Bill Cannell and his Raiders. Impressive victory today as they kind of ignored all the talk, plenty of it on social media, and just did their business.
Okay, we don't want this to be the grand finale. Now we got to go on the road. You're going to go to Alleman, okay? A great football team, a great tradition, okay? And we got to make sure we're ready to go next week when that time comes. You understand me?
Yes, sir. When we noticed them getting a little edgy, we ourselves became edgy, and I felt like we came out, we played harder, and we came out, we shut their mouths with the way we played on the field, and we shut them up with hitting them hard and run the ball down their throats.
I mean, this was probably one of the best lines we faced all year, and our line did great. I mean, they were able to handle them. We were able to get touchdowns. So,
for our line to step up like they did tonight, it really put an impact on our team. They really opened up the holes and held their blocks. We got it done today.
Certainly got it done today, and that means, as you heard Bill Cannell say, a showdown with more Class 4A royalty. Rock Island Alleman will provide the opposition and be the host. That game set for 2 o'clock Saturday at Augustana College should be a good one. And for those of you who want to look a little more deep catalog, yes, Rochester did win today. So if you're checking out the 4A bracket down the road, Rochester, a 56-28 winner today over Breeze Mater Dei, for those of you who are looking to see what Q&D might do if they beat Alleman. Meanwhile, Quincy High School, first ever home playoff game today, taking on a really good Providence Catholic squad today, and let us take you to the fun in this one. Started off on a great note for the Blue Devils as they would go to work and go to work hard early on in this one, making an impressive showing in this ball game. Let's see if we've got the highlights ready to roll in this one. And away we go to Flynn Stadium, which, as you can see, absolutely jam-cram-packed today. Second play of the ball game, the Blue Devils doing some impressive work right here. Bryce Umazig, deep threat, home run guy, 78 yards of goodness behind a phenomenal block from Jacob Kendall, and it's all Umazig from there. 79 yards, 7-0. Can you smell the upset? Well, it gets better in this one. George Kirkard, the fourth, looking right here in the passing game. Play action fun to Malik Robbins. You know him so well. Great catch right here on down into the red zone. And then Robbins going to do the rest of the work on the interior, kind of breaking free, and those are hard yards, but that's what Malik specializes at. 13-0. Quincy High has Providence Catholic on its heels until the Celtics decide they're ready to play. And when they came ready to play, it just got nasty fast. How about deep into the playbook? We're going to the exotics right here. The double pass started by Justin Hunniford to Miles Boykin to Austin Garwood. 36-yard touchdown pass. Touches off a run, well, of 38 unanswered points in this one. Providence Catholic, everything we heard they would be and more in this one. Again, it's Hunniford going to the air again to Boykin, who's just absolutely phenomenal. Great catch by that junior who's got 5 Division I offers already. He's a monster. He's 6'5" on the seam route. Who's going to cover that? 31-13 at that point. The Celtics looking for more. They'd cap it off. It's 45 unanswered points, actually. 17 points here, or 17 yards here. 7 points on the run by Dominic Lagone. 45-13 at that point. Blue Devils never quit in this game, to their credit. Still fighting Malik. Do your thing. 76 yards right here for the long touchdown rumble to make it 45-21. Unfortunately, that was pretty much the end of the run for the Blue Devils today. Robbins did add another touchdown from 2 yards out to cut the lead at one point to 55-27, but that was actually the end of it tonight. Oh, look at this. Good stuff for the Blue Devils. Great season, but unfortunately it would come to an end today. 55-27 is your final. Everybody should be very proud, though, of what Rick Little's crew has done to this point in the season, and certainly the season they fashioned on the night. Let us go now to small school fun. Does it get any better than Central and Brown County? Part 2. The WIVC Apocalypse. Central played badly last week. No question about it. Brown County played very well. Central ready to atone. Bobby Keltz, first possession, setting the tone, just destroying people right there, lowering the shoulder. The defense doing same at the other end. Michael Houston doing his thing as well in this one. No score early on, but you know what? The Central defense going to kind of turn that around quickly. Great tackle right here by Jared Starman on the tackle for loss. Fake punt on 4th and 13. Are you kidding me? Oh, Brad Dixon deep into the play calling in this one, as it would be a great rumble right there by Cole Phillips of 18 yards to pick up the first down. And then on his first carry of the entire year, the linebacking specialist Andrew Shake shows he's not a bad fullback either. On down to the 2-yard line, which would set up the first score of the ball game, courtesy of Bobby Keltz from 3 yards away. Going to move the entire pile. Got a big offensive line helping him right there behind Ian Diller, his big all-everything center. Makes it good right there. 7-0 Central after an onside kick. More fun to come from the Panthers. Alher Saldana going to do his thing as well, getting to the outside. I thought he got in, got down to the 2 again. No matter, you got the short yardage specialist today, Bobby Keltz, in from 1 yard away, and everybody's dancing in Camp Point. It's 13-0. BC trying to strike back in this one. Braxton Phelps with a nice pickup right here. I'll tell you what, kid who had a wonderful day today. Nobody talks about him enough. Jason Dormeyer, great tackle to just sniff out Braxton Phelps right there, get the stop for loss and kill all of Brown County's momentum. Before the end of the first half, more Alher Saldana right here. Big pickup. And again, he's going to do the heavy lifting, allowing Bobby Keltz to get yet another short yardage touchdown. Actually, this one not so short. That was a 11-yarder from Keltz on this particular example. In for the score, made it 20-0 at the half in favor of Central. Tell you what, Cole Phillips also standing up strong defensively and offensively in this one, as you see. Tell you what, Keltz also just doing his thing, shaking people free and getting in for the score right there to make it 20-0. I mentioned Cole Phillips He was really, really good defensively today. Last week, it was all about his quarterback heroics. Check him out right here. Again, just before the half, trying to sniff out a Brown County drive. Phillips comes up strong and just absolutely destroys Mr. Phelps right there. Second half, Central's defense still salty. Andrew Shake into the backfield after a successful onside kick for Brown County, and that again would set up the offense. And finally, Bobby Keltz gets a chance to show he's not just a short yardage guy anymore. 206 yards of rushing from this fella. The fullback breaks out and breaks out big, and this time it's he who does the heavy lifting for Elhair, who's going to go in and splash his way home to make it a 27-0 lead at this point. Brown County pretty much caught behind the wheels and the gears of a machine today, and the machine was working in all facets. Defensively, Mike Johnson, Zach Foote into the backfield for another stop for loss. Tell you what, Brown County's running game, which is formidable, absolutely smothered today. More of Elhair just doing his thing. He's going to set himself up on his own touchdown this time. Camp Point Central returns to being Camp Point Central today. Last week, obviously a one-week hiccup. The Panthers are back, boys, and heading on to the third round of the playoffs for the second year in a row. Panthers win today 41-0. Impressive victory for them. And they are headed off to Maroa Forsyth for a showdown with the Division I quarterback prospect, Jack Hockaday, and that phenomenal Forsyth team. Forsyth struggled a little bit today against Arthur Lovington, 24-19. Game time has been set. 3 o'clock at Maroa Forsyth coming up next week. 3 o'clock start. Be there or be square. One more for you today. The Jacksonville Crimsons taking on undefeated and really good U-High, which jumped out early in this game to a 7-0 lead. Bryce Schnitker and company coming back. These highlights courtesy of our friends at channel 1450am.com. Cody Wood with a great 51-yard grab from Bryce Schnitker, and that would set up Floyd Lamalino for the first of 2 first-half touchdowns. Floyd in from 8 yards out to tie this thing up at 7 apiece. Lamalino not done. Just a bit later, you see Big Gabe Meganson getting a nice block there, and you see Lamalino in to tie the score up at 14 apiece with 36 seconds left. Schnitker not done working his magic and not done targeting Cody Wood. Beautiful pass right here from Mr. Wood, who's going to weave his way through things and actually put Jacksonville into the red zone for a chance for their first lead of the ball game, which they would fashion, courtesy of Mr. Schnitker and Zach Lonergan at the other end. 21-14 at that point. Unfortunately for the Crimsons, from that point on out, U-High kind of lived back up to its namesake today and up to its lofty ranking as U-High pulls off the victory and ends Jacksonville's fine season. 35-28 is your final there. Let's talk some cross-country state today. 2 All-Staters in our midst. Congratulations to the reigning Student Athlete of the Week, Luke Watson of Quincy Notre Dame, who finished 20th on the boys' side today in Class 1A, and Karen Paisley, who wraps up her phenomenal career at Macomb with a career-best running time today, a PR of 17:55, finishing 13th overall. Great stuff on that side of the river. Good stuff as well with 2 top 15 finishes in Missouri in Class 2. Philip Loggeman from Bowling Green, 12th on the boys' side. Renee Bushling, best time ever on the girls' side, finishes 7th today. Also a shout out to the Marion County boys, who ended up finishing 16th as a team. Very nicely done there as well. So good stuff there. And Reed Plunkett led the way, I should mention, but for Marion County and their boys finish, I think he ended up finishing 84th individually. We also got volleyball, the quest to get to state tonight for West Prairie, taking on Danville Schlarman over at Mount Pulaski. Super sectional fun, and this is Rachel Menzel doing her thing, playing some defense to start things off. Game number 1, kind of a blowout, surprisingly so, as West Prairie just simply came to take care of business. Menzel again throwing down the kill. 25-10. Are you kidding me? West Prairie was not messing around in this one. Jen Reedy doing Jen Reedy things right there. That left-hand swing, very tough to defend. Then off the serve, Paige Webster got to put the capper on game number 1, which, as I mentioned, was fairly ugly. Schlarman caught sleeping or just caught his grist for the mill today, as Jen Reedy will serve up the ace right here as well. Jen Reedy gets the final point of the ball game as well, as West Prairie wins in 2. I'm telling you, the Cyclones, a team of destiny. They've talked about wanting to get to Redbird Arena the last couple of years. Now these girls, this very veteran crew, will have their chance. They will take on Country Day coming up at 9 o'clock on Friday. Much more. We hung around tonight, got some post-game with the West Prairie Lady Cyclones, so we'll run some of that for you a little later this week. Good stuff as well from them. Unfortunately, the news not as good for Liberty. Highlights of this one forthcoming a little later in the show, as they just hit the studio from way over in Nokomis. But Stu Strauss today, a winner over Liberty in 3 hard-fought games. Liberty's season comes to an end 20-25, 26-24, 25-18. Again, highlights of that one coming up in just a bit. And we are just getting started here on the Big Overtime Show. We've got some college basketball for you, a huge local upset of the unfortunate kind in college football, and plenty more when overtime continues. That's okay. Were there other graphics there? Yeah, I did, and I think you missed that graphic because I called for that second score, yeah, and you never ran it, so I just moved past it. That's okay. No, that happens. Yeah, I was talking about the Rochester thing, and it never popped. That's fine. Hey, Jordan, depending upon what we have time-wise at the end, I may run that Mizzou thing. I may just pull it out and float it in favor of those Liberty highlights. Yes, there's one graphic there, and then as I think I was saying earlier, depending upon what we have time-wise, we may dump those Mizzou highlights and just run the Liberty instead. So I'll see where we stand. I have no idea what time we even started, to be honest with you. Okay, so we're 16 minutes deep. Okay.
You're watching KHQA Overtime with Chris Dewar. Brought to you by Con Communications.
Well, it was about as staggering a reversal of football fortunes as you will ever see. Back on October the 11th, the Hannibal football team served up a mind-numbing 56 points to Moberly in a regular season loss. And in the rematch on Wednesday, the Pirates yielded nothing. Zip, zero, the null set. Proof positive looking forward that revenge can be kind of fun.
To go back over there and to win 35-0, to shut them out, to kind of atone for a 56-36 loss that we took early in the year, and we really didn't feel very good early in the year about our effort and what we did down there. So to go down there in a state playoff game and beat them 35-0 on their home field, it was great for our kids. We got back to playing Hannibal football. Down there, we just didn't give effort the first time the way we were supposed to. We didn't get after it the way we were supposed to playing Hannibal football, and it showed. The last 3 or 4 weeks we played a lot better football. We've gotten off the ball a lot better. We played a lot more physical, and it showed during our play last Wednesday.
And with that, the Pirates' tour of vengeance now heads for the city of Jefferson on Monday in a return bout with Elias, the team that broke Hannibal's hearts this time a year ago and that has looked flat out indestructible ever since.
Well, we're playing our best football right now. There's absolutely no question about it. We're playing at a high level. We're doing the things we're supposed to do. We're playing physical. And that's not to say we're not facing a great team, because Elias is a really good football team. There's a reason they're ranked number 3 in the state. So we've got our hands full, but we feel like we're playing our best ball, and we'll go down there and put our best foot forward.
Undoubtedly so. Meanwhile, Palmyra will tangle with a very quick, explosive backfield from Bowling Green, led by Adam Holt, Malik McPike. Might be an interesting test for a defense that is playing as well as any in our area.
They definitely do, and we know that we're going to have to be fundamentally sound on defense. We're going to have to run downhill, hit our spots, and hit and put a hat on people and do it every play.
Yes, sir. As long as we do our part and hit our gaps and play like we can go out there and get that win.
But victory alone isn't motivation enough anymore for this talented Palmyra defense. It's shutouts these guys crave, and the aptly named treats they're rewarded with afterwards, as this Panther group has found another gear in punishing the opponents who dare to test them.
I mean, we all play our game. Coach says we are Palmyra, and we are Palmyra. We go in there and play our defense, then we should hold them. Hopefully we can get a donut.
We felt like we've had pretty good defense all year long, but they've just kind of really started to settle in. You know, we're making some changes. They're adjusting to the changes we make on the field, and that makes it great. But you know, they're 11 guys, then they run downhill, and they get to the ball, they're angry and want to hit somebody.
I guess the biggest question I have for you guys get a lot of guys into the offensive backfield, get a lot of tackles for loss for defense. I mean, a lot more so than a lot of teams do. What's your secret for being able to attack people the way you do and break up plays before they start?
I don't know. I guess just our D linemen get after it, and whenever we do send a backer or something, they're flying through the holes and just making that tackle.
The kind of neat thing about you guys is that it isn't one guy. You got playmakers all across the board. That has to make it easy for everybody, doesn't it?
Oh, it's a freaking heck of a thing to have. We all work hard in the weight room. We go 100%.
There's 11 of them. Actually, there's about 15 of them because we rotate the D linemen about every series, and they all will step in and play. And every week it's a different guy. And every time we think we find somebody new, then the next week it's somebody else steps up and has a great game.
This is an important step going forward. This is not only a district championship, but it's the game that kind of launches you into the rest of the playoffs. This is a must.
It definitely, and this is something that we've talked about all year long. And this is one of the kids' goals was to, we always want to do better than the team the year before. And last year the team got to this game and didn't win. So one of our goals was to get to this game and try to get on top. So that's something we've talked about often. The kids have it in the back of their head. They're focused on it, and we're ready to go, we hope. All right, let's talk some football. Heartbreak today for the formerly unbeaten Illinois College Blue Boys in overtime. Matt Newman's field goal attempt was blocked and returned for touchdown by Myron Seabrook. That is the difference in the ballgame. Illinois College tastes defeat for the first time this season, and that will put their playoff hopes in jeopardy. Meanwhile, Quincy University loses to Indy 33-7. Truman State a hard luck loss at home to St. Joseph's, and Culver Stockton struggles against Mid-America Nazarene. How about the Quincy University women today at home and taking on Northwest Missouri State? Lucy Cramsey and company coming out strong today. The threes were a following today, as you will see, even from Hannah Weedman, your post player, knocking down one to start off the game. Then it's more traditional Hannah Weedman playing as Hannah Weedman. Little bounce off the fun right there, gets the two to go. We're not done yet. Carly Betancourt, the pride of El Dorado Hills, California. She was an Oak Grove girl, or an Oak Ridge girl, I think. Back to my hometown. Good stuff to see her in with the three. Lucy Cramsey right there knocking down the three, doing her thing. And then more three fun right here. The trail three right here from Tori Kuhn, who had 12 points to lead the way. Lucy Cramsey setting everybody up, doing great things. Carly Betancourt with a nice assist right there. Quincy University wins and basically plays a half and kind of shuts it down in the second half to not make it too ugly. 68-47 was your final in favor of the Lady Hawks, who looked really good today. Other women's basketball today, John Wood, a loser to Crowder, 65-57. For the first time in her coaching career, Jeanette Bergen is a victor as Culver Stockton ends up beating Benedictine Springfield. A 66-57 was your final in that ball game. Also in the Summit League today, it was Western Illinois rallying with a 13-0 run at the end of the ball game to beat UAB. 71-65 was your final there. Let's take a look at the men's side. Last score I had on Western Illinois was 54-52. I'll try to update you with one as a final on that one before the end of the show. We can tell you that Quincy University is now 0-2 on the season, losing to Davis and Elkins, which sounds more like a law firm than it does an actual college basketball program. But there you have it, 14 points out of Scott Hahn in the loss. Culver Stockton, just ridiculously good. Triple digits again. James Johnson leading the way with 23 points there. And John Wood today beats up on Culver Stockton's JV. Final count in that one was 104-79. Up next, Con Communication time. We'll see you in 2 minutes.